Hello, beautiful. Welcome back. Today is our third live session. We are talking about the finishing touches to make your linen closet look like a magazine. And this is the final live session for the Linen Closet Challenge. Now, if you're joining us, please let me know in the comments where you're joining me from, what your name is. But as you hop on, I'd love to find out who's joining me. So today I am going to be sharing my favorite tricks for making your linen closet look absolutely amazing. All right, so to start off with, remember this is my linen closet. So far throughout the past week, we have broken down organizing our linen closet one small bite at a time in the Linen Closet Challenge. If you're not already part of the challenge over in the Facebook group, you can still see all of the tasks, all the videos and everything over in the Facebook group. It's in the guides section. So just find the guide section and Linen Closet Challenge. And that'll be up there for probably about another couple weeks, maybe a week. I guarantee a week, probably a little bit longer. So if you've missed anything, if you've not checked out the challenge yet and you want to do it this weekend, then it's all there right for you in the Facebook group. Now, like I mentioned, as you hop on, let me know who you are, where you're joining me from so I can say hi to you. But you saw my linen closet at the beginning of the week. That video is over in the guide section as well. And it was my untouched closet since 2019. And I'd not reorganized it since the last time I did the Linen Closet Challenge. So you got to see what it really looked like after a full year of myself and my family all using this linen closet. Today, I've spruced up some little bits that you probably saw before, but I purposely put a few things out so that I can show you exactly what I'm talking about with some of these different tricks. Sound good? Let's look at my linen closet and go through some of these tricks for you. Now, if you have any questions about your linen closet, about organizing your linen closet, anything about the challenge, please ask them in the comments and I will answer those as well. That's the joy of a live. We can do that. But let me move you a little bit closer so I can show you up close and personal in my linen closet. All right, one of my first tricks. It seems really simple, but it makes a huge difference. It's making sure that if you have something sitting out of a container, flip it so the label faces forward. Because you can see when the label faces forward and it's just lined up nicely, how much better does that look? Even if it was sticking out still like that, it just looks better with the label forward. I don't know, maybe it's because we're used to shopping, but sticking things instead of to the side or instead of the back of the label, this works in the pantry, it works just about anywhere. But label forward just makes it look a little bit more polished. You'll see that type of thing in magazines and advertisements all the time. You never see the back of the label unless it's in a TV show and they're trying to hide what they're using. Another thing that I always try to do, and this is an organizing concept that you can use, again, all of these concepts can be used in every area of your home. So it's not just your linen closet. But one of my favorite things to do is use containers. Now you'll see right here, I have several different things outside of a container just sitting on the shelf, which is okay if you don't have another choice. But the problem with that is it makes it very hard to reach what's behind it. So in order to get the baskets out, I have to try not to knock everything over. I have to reach really far behind. But also, when there are multiple items sitting out, your brain sees every item. So right now, when I look at this, I see 5 different things. That right there, my brain is saying there are 5 things there. Now, if instead I were to just find any type of basket, this also works with trays. If it's on a countertop, maybe your bathroom counter, and you have multiple things sitting on your counter, grab a shallow tray or a shallow basket and put the things in that basket. And your brain stops seeing 5 things, it starts seeing 1, it sees a basket. So in this example, if I were to put these all into a basket, it does not have to be nice and neat in the basket because the goal is within the basket. You don't necessarily have to see it. So I'm going to stick these in here. One's even sticking out the back. Who cares, right? Because now when I look into my linen closet, I don't see 5 things anymore. I see 1. I see 1 basket of things. It's just one of those mental tricks. So anywhere that you have things in your pantry, bathroom, sitting around your home, anywhere that you have loose items, kitchen counters are a really good place. Go ahead and put them on a small tray or in a basket, and your brain no longer sees the number of things. It'll see simply one basket or one tray, and it makes it just feel all more together. Now, while we're talking about baskets, another thing that they do in the magazines is labels, of course, but labels are not just good for magazines. They're also good for making sure that your family knows where to find things and how to put them away. So let me just take this banner off the screen because it's hiding everything. I've already shown you that one. There we go. All right. So within your linen closet or anywhere that you organize, make sure to use labels if you expect other people to use it, or also you can use labels when it's new to you. A lot of times what I will do when I first set up a system, I will actually label the baskets and bins and drawers with painter's tape. I just grab painter's tape because it won't leave a residue and it comes off easily from just about anything. And I will add my labels until I'm sure of that's the container I want to use. That's exactly where I'm going to put it. Also, it helps me because then I can label, on shelves, on the fronts of cabinets until I get used to where things are. It also helps my family find out where things are without having to ask me until we're all just used to it. Then once you're used to it, you can create the nicer looking labels. These I have on my YouTube channel. I have how I made these for these woven baskets, because any type of woven basket, whether it's the caning or the actual, fabric, like the ribbon type, it's really hard to get labels to stick onto them. They fall right off. So this is my little hack for that. And I shared that on my YouTube channel. But adding labels helps you put things together. It also helps your family be more successful in finding where things are. Now you will see I have two baskets, one in front of each other in here. So what do you do if the baskets both have labels, but now one basket's label is covered up with the other? Well, I label the shelf as well. Not only will this help me know what's in the back, right here the shelf says pillowcases, and then it says and eyes, parentheses back, because that means that behind the pillowcases are all of the eye things. So that's why I put both of the labels in the very front on the shelf, and it also helps my family so they can make sure if they pull out a basket, they put it back where it actually belongs. So they don't have any choice but to match the label to the shelf, which makes it so much easier. Kathy says she likes the painter's tape first because she does good labels. Yes, and doing those nice labels is wonderful. So you'll see that I use a label maker for my labels, and it does make it so much easier to quickly read. It looks nicer. So grab yourself a label maker, but most of the time when we're organizing, remember, it's a process. It's not a project. So you might start off with your linen closet looking one way, and then you find as you start to use it that maybe it's not working as efficiently as you want. So you might want to move some things around or change out to a different type of container. If you've just used temporary labels such as painter's tape, or you can even clip a piece of paper onto a container with what's in it, then you will have such an easier time readjusting and moving things around until you decide for sure where you want things to be. And that's the point that I actually add the labels. All right. So my next one is my actual super favorite trick. And this is one that I see all the time people do, and it's such an easy fix. I'm going to pull out for this one a little bit. But you see how at the top and here, I have my towels flipped so you can see the edge. And I have my sheets flipped so you can see the edges. That's fine. They look okay, but it looks so much neater. This works for towels in your linen closet. It works for sweaters in your clothes closet. Anywhere that you have something folded, put the fold side out. Now, they don't have to be folded exactly the same size you don't want to take forever on laundry day making sure that they're all the same size. I simply have mine the same size because I've gotten so used to folding these towels and I naturally just kind of flip them and fold them the same size most of the time. but that's not important. Even if they're different sizes, it's going to look so much better if instead of seeing this fringe side, then you flip it around and you see the folded side instead. And simply by doing this, it transforms the entire closet. As I mentioned, these concepts work everywhere. So this also works in your clothing closet. Make sure to flip those around so you see the fold instead of seeing the edge. Now, look at that. What a difference. I should have had a before picture so I could share the before and after with you. But it just looks so much neater. And that's one of those things in the magazines, you're never going to see the back side of anything. And then one of my other quick tricks that I use, I'm going to actually put you on the floor. I hope you don't mind going down onto the floor with me. By the way, if you just joined, let me know who you are and where you're joining me from. I would love to see who all is here. But down here on the floor, you'll see this is where we have our paper products. I also have my little footstool because every once in a while I do need to get to a top shelf on this or on my supply closet, or it's kind of a medical and craft closet. But we have all of this extra paper stock. And this is fine. It's not terrible how it is right now. But if you were to flip it around, now, I try to give tricks that are much more doable so you don't have to do a whole lot of work when you bring in the groceries or your subscribe and save from Amazon. But if you flip it around, so that way you don't see the open, jagged edge of those wrappers, because these wrappers are what look the messiest. But when you flip it the other way, then it just looks a little bit more polished. Now, you don't have to do this. If you go through a whole lot of toilet paper, we do, with this very active family and all of the kids from the neighborhood running through the house, we go through a decent amount of toilet paper. So this one, I just kind of tuck it down every once in a while so that you don't see it flapping out in front. But we don't go through paper towels as often. Actually, normally I don't have this many, but we have a puppy now. So with the puppy, we go through more. But it's much more practical for me to be able to flip the paper towels around, tuck in the toilet paper. Another option is you could use a bin. And whenever new paper stock comes in, it does not have to have a lid on it if you don't care about the lid, but just something so it's not sitting on the floor. You could just unpack it into there. But I like things that you can do within seconds. Quite frankly, I don't want to come home and have to do a whole bunch of moving things around just to restock. I want to be able to just throw things in to where they belong and let it go. Be done with that and move on with my day. So that is my favorite thing to do when it comes to anything with a wrapper. Now, if you're down to just a couple left, or for example, my eye drops I wear contacts because I am blind as a bat. But these types of things, they come in this huge box. And the box takes up so much space. A lot of times I will just take them right out of the box and put those into my container. So that way I don't have to have this huge box taking up all the space, because for some reason they feel the need to add so much extra space to the box. Taking things out of their packaging really helps. It'll save you space, and that'll make it easier to access later. So that works really well also with office supplies. If you have office supplies, if you buy new pens, anything like that, take them out of the package, because otherwise the package just starts to look really messy in your drawer, and it takes up so much extra space. Hopefully those have helped so far. So now we are down to my absolute last tip, that this is one that I hear the most feedback about, that people absolutely love. Before we do that, I wanted to tell you that next week on Thursday, I have my live webinar. So this webinar, we are talking about, all those notes that you scribble on envelopes, the lists that you create, ones that you use over and over, or like your grocery list that might be a daily thing that you use and let it go. Well, all of those little papers can take over. So Thursday, we're doing a webinar, and I'm going to be sharing how you can keep all of those random notes, even if you wrote them on an envelope. All of those random notes, all of those lists, keep them all together using just a basic notebook. You don't have to buy a special notebook. I'm not selling anything. It's simply how to do this and still be able to find everything that you possibly want to find. So how to find your TV shows to watch, your packing list, your grocery lists, the phone number you jotted down on the phone the other day. Using notebooks, it makes it so much easier to keep them from floating around your house. So that webinar, if you hop on over to the store on my website, siennakay.com/store, or click store in the top right, you will see where to register for that webinar. Also, some of the old webinars are coming down from there. So the old replays, get them while you can because those do come down. All right, you ready for this? Okay, I'm so excited. I'm like out of breath because I'm excited about this one. I love this one so much. I'm going to move you over here because I have my little table set up. Now, on this table, I'm going to show you my trick with sheets. Now, sheets for the longest time were the bane of my existence. I absolutely hated folding fitted sheets. And I hated it so much that I had to come up with a quick way to do it. And I shared that on Good Day Orlando. So that video is over in the Facebook group. And I think it's also in the guide section for this challenge. If not, then we might add that in there. But not only is folding fitted sheets one of my least favorite things, but storing folded fitted sheets looks terrible unless you spent forever trying to make it a perfect fold. So this is my trick for not only keeping those folded fitted sheets looking nice, but making sure that your sheet sets don't get separated. So you don't lose your pillowcases, you don't lose which flat sheet goes with your fitted sheet. So this is what it looks like. I call them sheet packets. You take your flat sheet, because this is the one that folds the nicest. You take your flat sheet. I'm just gonna step back so that you can see me in the sheets. You take your flat sheet, and before you do that final fold, you'll just lay it out. And you put your folded fitted sheet. It does not even have to be nicely folded. It could even be like jumbled up in a ball because nobody's going to see it. You stick that folded fitted sheet right on one side of that flat sheet. Your pillowcases, throw those in there too, and then finish folding that flat sheet. Now, when you put it in your linen closet, you have a nice packet for your sheets. So your whole sheet set won't get separated because your flat sheet is holding your fitted sheet and your pillowcases. Not only that, but now you can put it with the fold side out and it's going to look nice and neat stacked up with your other sheets. You can use a Sharpie and write on the tag really big what size sheet it is if you have multiple sizes in your house. We finally just made our house, everybody has a queen bed because it was really hard to tell the difference between the full and the queens and which ones fit which. But you can take a Sharpie and write really big on the tags. I know the tags do often say, but it's very hard to find them. So just write what size the sheet is. If you have multiple sheets, you can even write what room you use it for if you want to. But these sheet packets make it super easy. Another way to do a sheet packet, if you have people in your household, and we all know these people, who would mess up the sheet packets if they were like this. Or if you have sheets that you almost never use, so you just want to be able to move them around easily, you can also use your pillowcase from the sheet set to make a packet. Now, I don't do this with our daily sheets because I don't want to go through the extra effort of putting things in and out of the pillowcase for daily sheets. But any of those just in case sheets, the guest sheets, that's perfect for this type of method. So you can make your little flat sheet packet and then take your pillowcase and put the whole packet right inside of the pillowcase. Now, you just fold that pillowcase over, just kind of give it a shake, straighten it out, fold that over. And now you have that nice flat side that you can put right into your linen closet. You can even, if it's too big of a pillowcase, sometimes I'll even tuck it in to the sheet itself if you wanted to go for that nice magazine look, which we're talking about right now, but it's not a huge deal. But now you've got a packet of your sheet set, and no matter what anybody does in that closet, it's not going to get separated because it's right inside of your pillowcase. You could also even use old pillowcases and label them if you wanted to, so that you could see which sheet sets are which, but that's probably just making things a little bit harder. I like just doing the sheet packets. So my favorite are these sheet packets. Like I mentioned, for the everyday sheets, you take that flat sheet and you just wrap it around your fitted sheet and your pillowcases. And then that way, remember how I said with the fold out, When you go over to the linen closet, then you'll be able to, oh, there we go. You'll be able to just slide it right in with your sheets, folded side out, and it's gonna look nice and neat right up top. Well, I hope that you found a couple of ideas that you are going to implement in your own home or that maybe you've not thought about. Please feel free, let me know in the comments which of these tips you enjoyed. Are there any that you're already doing? Or are there any that you're going to start doing? Let me know. I would love to hear from you. And you're doing amazing with this challenge. I have loved seeing everybody's comments in the Facebook group. I've loved seeing, I saw Kathy. Kathy, you have shared some awesome photos. You're doing absolutely amazing with your linen closet. After the wedding, I'm sure you're gonna knock out that last little organizer that you were talking about. It's just beautiful. But so many of you are doing such a great job. Please share your before and after photos with me over in the Facebook group. Let me know how you're doing. Ask me any questions here or in the group. And just remember, I love you so much. I hope to see you at the webinar on Thursday, the 17th. I have to remember the date, the 17th. It's at 6 p.m., remember, Eastern time. And if you register, you can hop over to the store on the website. Not only that, but if you register, then you will also get the replay. So if you can't join me on Thursday at 6 p.m., that's okay. You will get the replay afterwards. If you can join me, then that's great too. You'll still get the replay afterwards so you can review anything. I love you so much. Kathy says, I like the look of the baskets as opposed to the clear plastic containers I'm using now. Absolutely. And check out my favorite things on the store link. I think I have those baskets linked as well. Thank you so much, beautiful. I love you. Keep being amazing. Have a beautiful Saturday and keep rocking your linen closet. I'll see you over in the Facebook group. Goodbye now. I love you.